Hello, lovely people. I'm Sinead, and I want to give a little update on Mudwood Cottage and Fairy Rags and how that's changing. I am going to be still doing various patterns as much as I have been in the last year or so. I don't know if I'll increase that or not. I don't know if I'll have time to increase it, but what happened with Mudwood Cottage was that we were working for Laughing Gnome. And he's 70 and had some major health scares in the last year and has decided, rightfully so, to retire. And he made that decision kind of, sudden, because he was assuring us that he wasn't retiring yet and he was going to be there for a while. And then in mid-December, approximately, he just said, nope, I'm done. And that's exactly how he approached it and how he moved forward from then. He proceeded to tell everybody that we were taking over. And admittedly, the three of us, Joey, Arthur, and myself, were a bit wide-eyed and, okay, we can do this, I think. And weren't really certain that he was going to actually retire. He kept saying, oh, you can call me. It'll be fine. I'll be a resource. And also he will still continue to get products from us, but he's slowing in his plans. He's slowing way down. None of us know how it's actually going to go. But he then started taking stock of everything in the studio and deciding what went with him and what was going to stay behind and how we were going to pay for it and how we were going to move forward. Because he knows we live paycheck to paycheck, that we don't have a nest egg or anything, that we're out here just barely getting by. And this should improve that situation because there will no longer be that upper management that needs to be paid, and hopefully we can handle between the three of us. And a lot of this lands on Arthur's shoulders, marketing, and that we can move forward and it'll work out. So Arthur has been doing markets, Joey is really good at production throwing, and I do sculpting. And sculpting is a bigger part of what needs to happen going forward than what I've been doing, because there were others involved in the sculpting process and I don't know if they're going to come forward with us. There is another potter who does throwing, which she's taking January off, which works out. And there is another person who does sculpting and glaze work, but I don't know how much of that sculpting she does or has been doing for Laughing Gnome and how much of it was just her own thing, and the glazing was mostly what she did for Laughing Gnome. Fortunately, Arthur has been discussing with Darby who does what, where the customers are, who we need to talk to, things like restaurants and whatnot who have been getting Laughing Gnome pottery. We need to go talk to them. And he's already done a little bit of preliminary. I'm retiring. It's hit the newspaper. The whole town knows. And I want to just say that I will still be doing YouTube. I will still be doing dolls. I will still have the patterns, Fairy Rags with the patterns available, still going to be there. And anything that is there, pottery-wise, miniatures will probably stay with Fairy Rags, and the full-size stuff you'll have to go over to Mudwood. I believe the website is Mudwood Cottage, but it's going to say Mudwood Gnomes for Naked Pottery. And that's because Darby wanted us to carry on the gnome part, and we're totally fine with that. It fits Mudwood Cottage perfectly. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But scheduling with a person who struggles with scheduling is maybe interesting, and hopefully this will work out okay, and we'll be able to get everything that needs to be done. And Joey has already, you know, like you saw me do the corvids. She has already put on my plate doing more variety of little she calls them action figures, because the little miniature gnomes and whatnot, she just picked them up and she just thought action figure. And so the corvids and gnomes and any other little creatures, I think I've done an owl, and plan on trying to do some other stuff. Obviously, it all has to be production, so it all has to be something I can do quickly, and in order to keep it in a price range that's reasonable, to move it along. And that has not been my focus, and so that's, you know, that's a challenge to shift into. And I will, you know, I still have to be productive. I still have to do, you know, the other stuff. For myself, Joey has also insisted that I not lose focus on the dolls, that the dolls should be very much a part of my focus. And that is helped by them selling, because I don't have room to store them, obviously. I can continue to make them, but I don't have that kind of space. So they have to go find other homes. And that's where you come in. I love it when you see something that you like and you take it, you know, straight like the way that I made it. But I also like it when you contact me and say, listen, I have this vision, and can you? And I will do my best to fulfill that. I enjoy the research and whatnot of working through those kind of challenges, and designing. I really do enjoy designing. If I had a maker's, you know, like a crew that I could hand off my designs to, I would be producing a whole lot more, because I have a whole lot more ideas than I have time to make. So it, you know, it's a balance there, but I still like doing what other people see, because sometimes I just don't see it, and it's so nice to see, well, you know, I want this character, and I want her to be, or I want him to be thus and such, and I get to do the back and forth, and I draw little sketches and I send them, and we get okays, and no one is ever obligated to buy the finished product, because I think that, you know, you've put a deposit down for my time, and you don't have to finish that if it turned out completely wrong. And so far, I have not had that happen. I'm sure somewhere in my future, someone's not going to be happy with what I've produced, and that's reasonable. And don't be afraid to ask. I love it when you interact and ask, and we get to do a project together. I like collaborations. But yeah, obviously some of my time is going to be doing sculpting. I thought the mold thing, I've got the little corvid I made to make a mold, but the more I thought about it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. But the more I thought about it, the more I think that it's actually going to take longer to produce the birds that way than just doing them, than just building them. So it'll be an interesting mold experience, just creating it to see how that goes. It's a press mold, not a slip mold. And yeah, that will be interesting to try and go forward with that one. But yeah, I'll have to schedule in time and take time and have probably 1 to 2 days a week in which I have to really focus on doing little clay figures, and possibly other things, because Joey would like me to start doing designs on the sides of the mugs with the relief or carving or something, and which is part of what Laughing Gnome has offered, but Darby has been the one usually to do it unless it's a stamp. If it's a stamp, Joey and Arthur feel fairly confident in doing that, but if it is not a stamp, if it has to be hand carved and applied or whatever, they don't feel confident in doing that so much. So that was another area she wanted me to step into. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's fun. It can be totally absorbing to do. Um, it's switching gears into it out of what I usually do. And that I think is probably my biggest challenge there. Anyway, I hope that you have a lovely day and that your new year, which is fantastic, and that 2025 brings us all a lot of wonderful experiences and just fun. I'm looking forward to having some fun, and I hope you are too. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.